Okay, sure.
That, and do you provide that to the customer?
As far as the pre-filled template on the just on the eBay listings, or what do you mean exactly?
Okay, because on one of in your video is like it showed you like you do the inventory card checklist and then you wrap the phone with it and then you put it inside.
Oh, are you talking about like the customer, like the thank you note and everything? The one that has kind of the pre like done, the one that's got the stars and it just says, you know, please make sure to leave us positive feedback and just basically tells them thank you.
No, I don't have that.
Are you
That's the
talking
one.
about are you talking about the inventory cards, the actual
Yeah.
inventory cards? No, so what the inventory cards are for is the inventory cards. Welcome, Azam. The inventory cards are basically just used for your own reference. So, like example, you can see that I've got, I don't know, there's like 8 to 10 phones back there. There's a couple sitting on boxes, and whatever. When you
Yeah.
start to get a lot of phones, you want to either print out a plastic label, with an actual label maker, or what you can do is you can print out the inventory cards that I have in the course.
Yeah, I got
And all you
those.
do with the inventory cards is you just put those in plastic bags with the phones just to basically keep a reference once you run the IMEI check. That way you don't have to rerun the check again. So when you ship that phone out to a customer, you don't need to include it with the phone. But what you want to do is once you do that, once you grab that phone out of there to ship it, you want to write on the inventory card that it's sold and the date that it's sold.
Okay, so that's the inventory because I know you have two of them. You have a one and then there's a two. There's one that's like colorful and then the other one's just a regular blank,
They're
straightforward
just
type of
they're
phone.
just kind of two different ones that you can use. So the colored one, that one is kind of a more detailed version of the inventory card. The more detailed one is just kind of a revised one that I made that you can use if you really want to be detailed with it. What it is so the inventory card that I have in the course, so you got the basic one that's about like, I don't know, probably about the size of an actual index card.
Yeah.
The colored one is almost the size of a full sheet of paper. And the whole benefit of that is the colored one basically goes over every single thing that could potentially be wrong with the phone. So, like the index card, I don't think, welcome, James. The index card doesn't include, I don't think it asks you to test the speakers or it doesn't ask if the speakers are working. Where the colored and revised index card that I made or the index checklist, it literally goes over almost everything that you should test about the phone. Like, does the camera work, front and back side? Does the mute button work? Does the sound work? Can you take a video with the phone, play it back, check the speakers, check the video, etc. The basically just sometimes people will buy a phone and they don't check every single little thing. So the reason why I revise the index card is it's not only a good checklist to keep with the phone just for your own personal reference and when you're listing on eBay, but it's basically there to make sure when you actually get the phone in person, you use that list, you actually check everything. Because sometimes when you're doing a deal, you might look the phone over, everything looks good, but hey, you forget to take a picture and maybe the camera's fuzzy, or you forget to check the volume button by recording a video and then playing it back, and you realize when you get home the speaker doesn't work. So this list basically just is kind of like a master checklist of going over the entire phone and making sure that you get everything down and that you don't miss anything.
Okay, so you're not sending this to the customer at all.
No, customer doesn't see it, but it's just for your own personal reference. And then when you do list the stuff on eBay, you obviously want to include anything that you find from the index card. So,
Okay.
but yeah, welcome, Yusuf. How's it going? So today, guys, just kind of wanted to ask in chat, how's everybody's leads been? I want to maybe do some live role playing. We haven't done any live role playing in a long time, so I'm not sure if anybody wants to volunteer, but if you guys want to do some live role playing, type in the chat for me. Just give me a yes or a no or a thumbs up if you're on video camera. But I think a lot of people, I think it's good to just kind of refresh your skills over the phone because a lot of us have been focusing on Facebook Marketplace, apps, etc., and we haven't really been doing a whole lot of phone call deals. Phone calls are starting to become more scarce. It's starting to become more messaging and texting deals. So does anybody here want to brush up, do some role playing? We'll do like a live role play between you and I. Does anybody here want to brush up on their phone skills? Just talking over the phone. Jonathan wants to go.
But let me get my laptop first because I don't want to be switching back and forth on my phone because I know you
Okay.
said the appraisals are better on the computer.
Oh
Okay,
no,
cool.
you look. Your quality's fine actually.
Oh no. What I'm doing is like I'm using the chat right now on the phone, but I'm
Oh
saying like
sure.
let's say you ask me, oh check this,
Oh
like
no, we're gonna do like a live phone call. Have you ever done one of
oh
these before with me?
no.
Do you want to be the customer, or do you want to be the buyer, or do you want to be the seller?
I want to be the buyer.
Okay. So here's how it's gonna work. So in these live role plays, basically I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna pretend like I'm a real customer, and then after the call, I'm gonna critique you, and then the rest of the people in the group chat are gonna critique you. Okay.
That's
Answer
perfect.
this call. Welcome, Corey. You're going to answer this call just like you were doing a live customer deal. Hey, Corey, right now we're doing some live role playing. So basically, Jonathan here is going to basically pick up the phone almost like I'm a real customer, and we're just going to be doing some role playing, brushing up on some phone talking skills, so some closing skills. You got to try and close me, Jonathan. I'm not going
All
to
right.
be too difficult or whatever, but just basically, show us what you got. Like, I'm a real
Hey,
customer.
throw it at me. I'm ready.
All right, you ready? All right, so I'm going to try and throw a curveball at you. I'm not going to
All
be
right.
real hard to close, but I'm going to make this difficult. You're going to be graded on basically how you answer the phone, how fast you are, and if the price you give, is accurate, okay?
Oh, but see, that's the thing I need. I need the computer for
I
this.
got you. Okay, we won't grade
That's
you
why.
on.
Yeah, let me get the computer real quick.
All right, we'll give you a second. So Jonathan's going to get his computer just to make sure that he's accurate on the price. So we want to give Jonathan a fair shot. All right, let's see here. Pre-owned. I'm just looking at the phone that I want to give you. Give you a little bit of a curveball. Can't make it too easy for you. So, because we got to build skills here. If anybody after Jonathan wants to go, just drop a yes or a no in chat, and then I'll unmute your microphone, and we'll do a live role play chat. So, how's it going, Corey? I just unmuted you. I don't know if you got a microphone at all. Can you hear me?
Hey, man, I can hear you.
Hey, that's good. How's it going, man?
Pretty good, man. It's my first time on, so
That's good.
I got to text you and
Welcome.
yeah.
For sure. Well, welcome to the group chat. Glad to have you on with us.
All right, thanks.
All right, Jonathan, are you ready yet?
Most ready. No, my computer I had to turn it on real quick. I
Okay.
had to charge it all day.
Sure. So anybody out there in the group chat, just drop a yes or no in the chat. You can find the chat box off to the lower right. All you got to do is just say yes if you want to participate in this. We're going to be brushing up on people's sales skills over the phone. So we're going to be closing people. So.
All right, let's do this.
All right, you're ready. Okay, so I'm basically going to say ring, ring. When I say ring, ring, you're going to answer the phone just like you would for a regular customer if I was calling, on your ad.
Yep.
Ring, ring.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. I think I saw your ad on Craigslist. Do you pay cash for smartphones and electronics?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I have an Apple.
You have an Apple. Okay. Can I have a little bit more details now? What type of iPhone do you have?
Okay, yeah, you're right. It probably is an iPhone. Well, it's one of the bigger ones, and I think it's an iPhone 8 Plus.
You think it's an iPhone 8 Plus? Okay. Now, can you do me a favor? Can you go to the settings for the phone and look into the about?
Yeah, I think I could do that. It is an iPhone 8 Plus.
Okay. All right. iPhone 8 Plus. Now, on the condition from 1 to 10, what would you say?
I don't know. I mean, it's in pretty good shape. I guess it had a case on it, so it seems to be in pretty decent shape.
So pretty decent shape. Okay. Now, what carrier was that you used prior?
What carrier is it for?
A phone company.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Phone company. It's for AT&T.
AT&T? All right. Now, would you say okay, so you said it's AT&T, iPhone 8 Plus.
Yep.
Now, what would the gigabyte size be?
It's 256.
Oh, okay, great. I could do about $390 for that.
390, huh? Man, I paid like $800 for this phone. There's no way that you could do like a little bit more than that.
I understand. honestly, like I have the same exact phone, and I feel you on this one. But honestly, the market would only allow me to pay this. Now, if you come to me today and you could meet close, I could possibly do 400.
400, huh?
That's if everything's in the condition that you stay and everything seems to be fully functional.
Okay. $400. When could you pay me?
As soon as I see you.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I could do that. Where could we meet?
Okay, great. There's a McDonald's off of 99 near the new casino they just built.
Okay.
Can you meet me there?
Yeah, I could do that. What time?
Let's say in the next 30 minutes. Does that work?
That works fine for me.
All right, great.
Okay. All right. So that call, not bad. What's everybody else think? Type in the chat. What do you think? So there was a couple things that could have been a little better, a little smoother, but I mean overall decent.
Yeah, I kind of got stuck in the middle.
The one thing that you got stuck on, or the couple things that I would say is try to say phone company. Never ask carrier.
Yeah,
I
I usually
know it
always
sounds
do
silly.
this though.
Yeah,
Got
I
that
know
from
it's.
you.
I know it sounds silly, but if you ask the customer what carrier, sometimes they get confused. You know,
They really do though.
sometimes they don't know.
They really do.
So you got to say what phone company, and then
Literally all the time.
on top of that, I think everything else was somewhat decent. I think it was decent. But the one thing was when you answer the phone, it should be, "Hey, this is Luke. I pay cash for smartphones and electronics," or "Hey, this is Phone Stop. I pay cash for smartphones and electronics." Me personally, like the names that I operate under are Mr. Buybacks and Phone Stop. You always want to be answering that just so they know, because when I called, you said, "Hey, this is John," and I'm like, "Okay, I think I saw your ad on Craigslist." You know what I mean? So it creates a little bit of confusion with them. Other than that, I think it was good. So
Okay,
pretty
so
solid.
introduce my company, pretty much what we do.
Yep.
Real quick, phone company. I literally always use phone company, but I don't know why I try to be professional and say carrier.
Probably because it's me, but no, it's all good. Other than that, it's
I never say that anymore. After I seen your videos saying phone company, I always say phone company. Usually in messages.
That's good for sure. Yeah. So as far as and then the price. Now the price,
Well,
you said you were gonna pay.
This is the thing. I usually play. I usually say about 75%. Now in person, they always say it's perfect and everything. There's always something wrong with it. Then I
Right,
can
true.
negotiate that. So instead of just lowballing them from the beginning, which that's why I've been losing a lot of my leads. Like literally, I've been getting like at least 50 leads like in the week, right? Just off of the let go. And then the moment I go like 60, like even 65% of regular phones that are like priced at like $300, maybe $250, people like just walk real quick.
Sure.
Like, so I try to give them at least 75% where I say, all right, cool, I can make something out of it. But they're obviously not telling me the whole story.
Okay.
That's how I kind of
right, I got you.
And then
All
I
right.
negotiate in person.
Sure. Okay, so who here on the group chat? Anybody? You can type in chat or you can blurt it out. On the microphone, whatever. Yusuf, James, Corey.
Oh yeah, how do I see
doing? Who wants to do a role play call where I will be the buyer and you can be the seller. You can call me and we'll do a call and I'll show you how I would answer the phone and how I would try and close somebody. So does anybody want to do a role play call with me? And you are going to be the seller. I'm going to try and close you, and I'm going to be the buyer. Anybody want to do that? Just so you can kind of see like how I do it when I answer my phone. Corey, you wanna give it a shot?
Hey, sure.
Okay. All right. So basically, you're gonna call me. You're gonna say ring ring. I'm gonna answer the phone just like I regularly would. I'll show you guys how I do it, how I talk to customers, and then you're gonna give me a phone. So kind of get a phone in your mind. And I'm going to be asking you questions. So give me a phone. Get a phone in your head right now that you want to sell to me. And we'll go from there, okay?
Okay.
So call whenever.
All right. Ring, ring.
Hey, this is Luke. I pay cash for smartphones and electronics. What can I do for you?
Hey, man. So I got this iPhone that I'm trying to sell. I wanted to see if you'd be interested in buying it.
Yeah, awesome. Absolutely. What kind of iPhone is it? It could be an iPhone 7 Plus, 8 Plus, iPhone X. Do any of those sound familiar?
Yeah, so it's an iPhone 7 Plus that was given to me for Christmas, but I cracked it the other day. Do you buy
Sure.
those?
Yeah, absolutely. We buy cracked screens, broken screens, you name it. Now, when you say cracked screen, can you still use the phone completely? And are there any black dots or black lines in the screen?
Yeah, but you can still use the screen. It still functions pretty good, but it's just some black spots on the screen.
Okay. So it's just some black spots, but it's still working. Would you say that they're like more than 50% of the screen, or are they very minimal?
They're very minimal.
Okay, sure. Now, when you say that and everything, that sounds good. Does the touch function of the phone still work good? Like when you're swiping stuff, going through Facebook or whatever it is you use your phone, does everything work decent on it?
Pretty much, but just where the black spots are, it kind of has a hard time recognizing the touch in that part.
Okay, sure. That makes sense. Yeah, well, you know, unfortunately, when there's black lines or, spots on the screen, what that means is the phone's actually got a bad LCD, which is the screen behind the actual glass that you see, and that's what projects the picture. So it is somewhat of a damaged phone, but we still buy them, and I think that, I can give you a decent price for it. Do you know how many gigabytes the phone is?
Not really sure. I think it's a 6 gigabyte.
64 gigabyte, you think?
Yep.
Okay, so the iPhone 7 Plus, they only come in 32, 128, and 256 gigabyte. Is there any way you could check, or do those three numbers ring a bell to you?
Give me 1 minute.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it looks like it's a 32 gigabyte.
Okay, so it is a 32 gigabyte. Okay. Yeah, so something on like that, just because of the fact that the LCD is bad and everything, as long as everything else about the phone is decent, even with the cracked LCD and there being black spots in it, I could probably do $120 cash for you today on that. How does that sound?
It sounds good. Do you think it'd come up about like $50?
I don't know if I could do $50 just because I do got to resell it, but I could help you out by making it really easy for you. I tell you what, the McDonald's on Hastings, are you anywhere close to there?
Yeah, I'm about 15 minutes.
Okay, I tell you what if I did this? What if I give you $130 cash, so I'll come up $10, and what if I either met you there or I could come directly to you? If you want to meet me at McDonald's, I will give you $120 cash, and I'll give you a $15 gas card.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I'll take that.
Okay. When could you meet me? How about does like in the next 30 minutes sound good?
Sure, that sounds fine.
Okay, great. I will text you to confirm when when it's like 10 minutes away, and yeah, I can meet you there.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, guys. So what I did there is obviously with every customer, sometimes they're going to be hesitant on price. 120 at that rate, I'm seeing iPhone 7 Pluses with, LCD spots about this big on the screen. I'm seeing them sell for, $220, $200. So at that rate, I should still be able to make a $50 to $70 profit, no problem. And, it's only 10 minutes away. So that being said, what did you guys think of that call? I mean, honest opinions, if you guys want to critique me or anything, or if there's anything you guys, thought that I missed, go ahead and speak about it. I guess it's pretty good on phone calls, obviously, but if there's any critique you guys want to give me or give Corey, let us have it. So.
I thought it was good.
Okay. Good.
I do want to test you on something, though.
What's up, Charlie?
I like how you led them to the next step, even though it wasn't the price he wanted, but you led them to the next step and you put some frosting on the cake by the gas card.
That's what you got to do. You guys, when you're going into the sale and you're trying to get the phone, you got to go for the close. You got to assume the close. So even though he was like, obviously hypothetical because we're here on the screen, but he was like, 120. Well, I'm like, this guy's going to sell me his phone. So I'm going to say, how about 130 or 120 in a gas card and just meet me? Like basically, guys, sometimes confidence in the way that you talk to a customer, like the confidence that they're going to sell you the phone, it almost pushes them in that direction to actually sell the phone, So, but yeah, cool, Charlie. Thanks, Jonathan. Thanks for the feedback. Thanks for contributing, Corey. So it's always fun to do these little role play calls because, to be honest, sometimes I get Yeah, I get a lot of text deals, and it's nice to do phone calls and catch up on this stuff. So.
Yep, I'm still pretty new to it, but yeah, I get what
Sure.
you're saying. I'm kind of leading up into it.
Okay. How about do one of you guys want to do phone calls, and then we can all sit back and kind of critique it? Does anybody here in the group chat want to do a role play call between two students? I know Charlie's driving.
Phone calls.
Do you want to do one, Charlie?
I'll do phone calls. I'll text.
Okay. Charlie's, you're recording yours from your phone, so I suppose it'd be kind of difficult for you to do it while you're driving.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Corey and Jonathan? You guys want to do a role play call between each other, and we can all sit back and see how it goes?
Yeah, but I want to be the seller though, because I have honestly, I really have a question on how someone would handle this, because I honestly didn't know how.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be the seller, and so I'm talking to Corey, right?
Yep, you're gonna be talking to Corey.
All
So
right.
yeah, you guys are both unmuted. So I guess Corey, you're gonna be the buyer. Jonathan's gonna be the seller. Corey, let's see what you got, and Jonathan, let's see what you got to stump Corey. So
All right.
let's go.
All right, so you're gonna be the seller.
Yep.
All right. Ring.
Hello?
Hey, I was calling. I seen your ad on Facebook. I was just trying to see. Do you buy phones?
Oh no! Wait. I'm sorry. I messed up. I meant you know what I mean? Like I want to sell the phones.
Jonathan's gonna be the seller. Corey's gonna be the buyer.
Yeah.
Like you.
Cause I need help to how someone would handle the situation. So
All right, so
I'm pretty
redo,
much
I guess,
playing back
guys.
some-
Think of it as a remix. All right, you guys
Oh.
ready?
So I'm
Yep.
the cell phones. Okay.
All right, let's.
All right. So ring.
Hi, this
Hello?
is Corey. Buy electronics. How may I help you?
How you doing? I have 2 iPhone X's.
Okay. So what phone company are they with?
Oh, they're both T-Mobile.
Okay, awesome. Do you know what is the gigabytes of the phone?
Oh yeah, they're 64 gigabyte.
Okay, awesome. Do you know what is the condition that you would say they're in on a scale
They're
of 1?
honestly in perfect condition.
Mm.
Nothing wrong with them. They're just locked phones.
Locked? Are you talking about carrier locked or?
Oh no, just carrier locked. I just reported it lost, but you guys buy those, right?
You reported it lost.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to get money for the phone.
Well, in that situation, I would have you would have to sign a bill of sale, but honestly, we have a bill of sale that you would also need to sign.
So you could do it? Because I have another friend who he's about to report his loss as well.
I don't know. I wouldn't recommend. I wouldn't really buy those just because, just to save myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. In that case, I don't know. In that case, because that's happened to me before as well.
This happened to me this week, and I was like, sketchy, and I didn't know how to go about it.
Yeah, and that's the question that I do have, because I am fairly new to it. I've been doing it for about 6 months. So the question with that is, if somebody is continuously bringing you stuff, and I've had it to where like, hey man, I literally found this in the park. What can I get for it? And I wouldn't take it, just even if I did have a bill of sale. But if they're openly telling me like, hey, I just found this thing, I don't take those. But I've had a customer where he's like a manager at a Sprint, and he would just continuously like give me phones. But that's a new thing I have to ask the group about.
Yeah, I honestly want to know about this, because this is like, it happened at least 2 or 3 times that people are just like, oh, they know it's lost, it's blacklisted and everything. They're just like, oh, I found it. I was playing basketball. I just found the phone. Do you want it? And I'm all like, I don't know, because no one talks about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, generally, guys, if somebody literally calls you on the phone and basically says, hey, I've got this brand new phone, and I just reported it lost, but it's not actually lost. Can I just sell it? That's what's considered insurance fraud. If you knowingly know this, that the person has reported it. Now, if they say they're going to or whatever, hey, that's on them. But if somebody tells you and you know that the phone is, you know, falsely reported lost or whatever, and you're buying it, I would try and stay away from that. I don't really know what the legality part of that is. Don't know if there is some, especially if you get a bill of sale, because I mean, it's still on them. If they falsely reported their phone, it's on them. But it's definitely, I guess, a gray area that I would try and stay away from. If you got people, you know, basically saying, hey, I'm going to sell you the phone and then I'm going to report it as lost. Now, the thing is, if you're shipping overseas, that's all fine and great and everything. But if you're shipping on eBay and stuff, BadESN is much different from Blacklist. So BadESN happens when somebody finances a phone and then they don't pay the phone off. However, when you have somebody out there that claims that the phone is lost, the phone goes on the global blacklist. Global blacklisted phones will not work here in the States, and it's also considered basically a stolen phone, where a finance phone might show up as BadESN, but it doesn't show blacklisted, stolen, or lost or stolen. It doesn't really get entered in other than the fact that it won't work. So you want to try and stay clear. I mean, a blacklisted phone is basically like an iCloud locked phone, because most iCloud locked phones end up on a blacklist. So you guys just want to be careful about that. It's something that's not talked about because it doesn't happen a ton. But sometimes, you know, you might get a week or two where you get a couple different people and they're like, oh, I want to sell you a locked phone. I'm going to call it in lost. Is this okay? You want to try and stay away from that because you don't really want to be known as the guy that, you know, takes in a bunch of lost devices or whatever. Yeah. Because for all you guys know, too, they could have stole it from somebody and they could just be using that as a cop-out story to say, oh, well, it's my phone, but I called it in lost. What if it's not actually their phone? You'll never know.
Right.
So it's just there's other kind of problems that can come along with that kind of stuff, buying the lost phones, and you just don't really want to get into that kind of stuff. And if you were to buy a phone that it seems like kind of sketch, or maybe you just get a really bad vibe from the person, try and get a bill of sale. If you can't get a bill of sale, like I said, I'm sure you guys have noticed some of the live videos that I've done where I buy, you know, multiple phones. I will try and wear a shirt with a pocket, and I will try and put my phone in and actually live video record the deal. Mm-hmm. So that way, you know, if I were to have anything happen with it, I've got a live video recording saying, hey, there was nothing mentioned about the phone being stolen. I checked the IMEI. They all came back clean and clear. I did my due diligence to check it out. And, you know, this person basically ripped me off or tried to rip me off. So it's not my problem. Here's the person's info. Here's what they look like. You know, go proceed with them with what you're going to do. So always just try and keep your best interest in mind, everybody. Make sure that you're covered. So.
Word.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
Thank you, Corey, for that, too.
Hey, man, you got me on that one.
Yeah, other than that, solid call, Corey. I think it was a good call. I mean, you answered saying you pay cash for electronics. That's great. Make sure, you know, you're always putting your business out there, etc. And then on top of that, you know, the other good thing is you said phone company. That's another big one. One thing that I do want to say that I was seeing if anybody would catch, nobody caught it, is I could be wrong, but I want to say during that phone call that we had, I did not ask you what – I want to say that I didn't ask you what phone company it's for. I could be wrong, but I don't I don't think I asked the phone company. Now, however, though, in my defense, I did give you a price where even if it was AT&T BadESN, I still would have made probably $30 or $40. So I did do okay on that. That's one thing that you can do too, guys. If you want to kind of speed up your appraisal process, you can skip different variables. Like what you can do is to speed up your appraisal process. If somebody says they have an iPhone Plus, appraise it as iPhone 8 Plus, 64 gigabyte BadESN. So lowest gigabyte BadESN. Just give them that price, and then you can kind of lightning bolt through the appraisal process. Because when you're on the phone with the customer, or even if you're texting, especially if you're in a high engagement texting environment with the customer, you want to be able to have your appraisal done in 45 seconds. So 45 seconds, and you want to be able to give them a price. Now, while this appraisal is going on, everybody, if you're sitting there typing or whatever, you might want to say, hey, by the way, I never got your name. Make small talk. So I'm sitting here talking to the customer, and, you know, Corey's like, yeah, my name is Corey. And I'm like, cool, Corey, where are you from? Oh, I grew up in the Bronx, New York. Now I'm here in Wisconsin. That's cool, Corey. Yeah, I've been in Wisconsin here my whole life. Man, the weather lately has just been terrible, hasn't it? Yeah, you know, me and Corey are talking. Well, me and Corey are talking. This is where you got to multitask. I'm over here typing in my stuff on eBay, and then I see the iPhone 7 Plus, and I'm like, all right, Corey. So anyways, back to business. $120 cash is what I can do for today. Make sure to always make small talk with your customers, especially if you're over the phone. If you can kind of make your customer feel like a friend over the phone, you'll get the deal almost every time. So just keep that in mind, everybody. Does anybody have any urgent or important questions they want to ask before we wrap up tonight? We're coming up on that 30 minutes for tonight's group chat. which will basically conclude it.
Are you still able to remove Google Lock?
Yeah, from what I know, you can still remove Google Locks. However, leaving Google Lock on a phone doesn't really change the value a whole lot because there's a lot of people out there that do know how to remove it. So it's not really a huge.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So I just want to make sure because people keep saying that AT&T doesn't get blacklisted, but they can still use it on the carrier. Because I have a phone. Literally, this is how I know they probably try to do some finance things. Like they bought it, but my IMEI 24 wasn't working. Like to tell me like the purchase date and all that stuff. I literally bought it 3 days after they purchased it, and they were like, "Oh, it's fully bought and everything." This is why I always now it's like you have to have a receipt or email stating that it's paid off in full with the IMEI. But yeah, I ended up buying a phone, and it was. I mean, I praised it as a Batty Ascend, but I was thinking in my head, haha, it's AT&T. I could definitely sell it as carrier lock and it'll still work. And then eventually I feel like it's going to get blacklisted or something because they sold it 3 or 4 days after they bought it.
I personally, from what I've known, is
it looks brand new right now.
If a phone is AT&T financed, you can still use it on AT&T, or you can use it on Straight Talk with the AT&T SIM card kit. Now, the reason why I know this is 100% true is because a long time ago, I bought a phone from a customer, and at the time, I think it was a Note 7, or no, it was not a Note 7. It was a Note 8, and I really wanted to use this phone. So what I did is I had a Note 8 for about a year, and that phone had a full balance of like $800 on it. I'm pretty positive it never got paid. I used it on Straight Talk for a year, and it never got blacklisted or anything. So typically, yeah, AT&T phones don't get blacklisted. They will always let you use them on the service provider or on the AT&T Straight Talk equivalent. The only time an AT&T phone truly gets blacklisted, like I said, difference between Batty Ascend and blacklisted. Batty Ascend would mean you just can't use it on the carrier, but blacklisted means like it's lost or stolen. AT&T phones can get marked as blacklisted if, they get reported as lost or stolen, missing, whatever. So
now, if a week or two went by and it's still showing on all the IMEI websites as clear and everything, would you still sell it as AT&T carrier locked?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's always going to be carrier locked unless the phone is paid for it. So
but they could probably still use it then. That's what I'm thinking.
Carrier locked means you can only use it on AT&T.
I put it as parts only, as it can't work for anything, to be honest.
AT&T, I mean, that's a really safe way to list it. If you still get profit off it, list it like that. Then you don't have to worry about anything. But typically,
my money back at that point.
Typically, AT&T, you can still use it even if there's a balance owed. So if you list it as carrier lock, then you're going to be able to get your money back.
Okay, then,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm
like,
list it higher then.
Yeah, you'll be able to list it as AT&T. Just list it as AT&T Finance, not that it's Batty Ascend.
Okay.
And then see what happens. So
yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that because it's like I've seen so many sell. Like I was so confident. I was like, "Word, I got this. I know AT&T doesn't get blacklisted, so I'm definitely winning right now." and then I get home and then I see. I think it was something I read. It was like AT&T gets blacklisted, and I'm like, "Oh man." It's like it's pretty much T-Mobile. That's how I've seen it, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Nope. Yeah, you should be fine. Just list it like that, and make some profit. Is it new also, or does it have the box?
It honestly says it was purchased like July 9th, and I purchased it. I bought it from the seller on July 13th.
What I'm saying is, though, does it got the box and everything? Is it new open box with plastic on it?
They didn't give me the box, but it has one little scratch on the back. So, I mean, I took pictures of that.
Okay. Yeah, just list it as finance and that it's network locked to AT&T, and list it for a little bit higher, and I think you'll be fine on it, Jonathan.
Okay. Then I'm going to end up doing that. Yeah.
Definitely. But, all right, everybody. Well, I mean, that sounds
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah, you bet. We will wrap up tonight's group chat. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. Welcome, Corey, by the way, for joining us on your first group chat. Hope you enjoyed it. For participating. They're always better when more people show up and we get more questions. So that being said, thanks, everybody, for coming out. Have an awesome rest of your weekend. Have a flipping awesome week. Pun intended. Flip some phones. And I will see you guys next Sunday at 7 p.m. on the group chat. So,
all right. See you then.
Later, guys.
Have a good one.